Hey, what's up guys, Bajheera here, bringing you guys another AION 5.0 first look video. Shoutouts to AION and Gameforge for sponsoring this video. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the new zones that patch 5.0 offers you. But before we get into that, I need to show you how to access these zones in the first place. Of course, you can just teleport to the new zones, but you won't really have any quests to do, and when I did that, at least to explore initially, I felt a little bit lost. So what I did was follow the quest line that starts with a letter in your mail that leads you to this vault of information where you have to clear out mobs and slowly but surely regain your memories. Now, this is my first time ever playing AION, but I felt like it was pretty easy to pick up the rotation. You know, I do have a fair amount of experience with MMOs, and I don't usually play a caster, but the Bard is definitely a self-healing, a fair amount of control caster, and even though, you know, I was new to AION and fairly new to the caster playstyle, you know, like I said, the rotation and the combat mechanics were fairly simple to pick up. I do think that these mobs aren't supposed to be super hard, but I would imagine every class has a good amount of crowd control abilities, offensive cooldowns, defensive cooldowns. For the example, I know the Bard has self-healing mechanics, it has ways to regain mana, it has crowd control effects, and to be fair, I was kind of just trying to blast through all these mobs as much as possible. I was trying out my abilities, you know, I turned some dudes into dancing penguins, which is kind of funny, but near the end of this labyrinth, you reach this big final room, and of course you have to investigate it, but upon doing so, you trigger the appearance of these high devas. And of course, in order for you to regain your memories and regain your full power, you must battle them. And this is a preview to another one of the cool things found in patch 5.0 of AION, is these high deva transformation abilities. These are going to be 5-minute duration, 1-hour cooldown activatable abilities that feature some pretty awesome effects. For example, the fire transformation gives you the incinerate skill, which gives you a chance to deal massive AoE damage to up to 6 nearby targets. You also get the detonate ability. Now, detonate is only available during incinerate, but it restores 1000 HP, causes explosive damage, and knocks the player back 15 meters. So it's a nice way to disengage from your opponent and heal yourself. Now, the wind transformation also has some pretty awesome effects. The first one being Windfall. Windfall is an ability that, for the next 15 seconds, increases your resistance to movement restricting conditions by 800 and decreases movement speed for 4 seconds for anyone that attacks you. The wind transformation also has Mercurial Blast, which is only available during Windfall state, but teleports your character 15 meters forward. Now, the Earth transformation, or the Land transformation, gives you Terra Skin, which reduces incoming damage and increases HP and shock resistance for 15 seconds. It also has Terraform, which is only available during the Terra Skin state, but it removes all debuffs. So it makes sense that the Land transformation would make your character extremely tanky and resilient to damage, while also keeping you free and clear of any harmful effects. The fourth high deva transformation is the Water transformation. In water form, you get access to Hydro Pulse, which is for the next 15 seconds, recovers 200 HP every time you're attacked. You also have Water Bind, which is only available during Hydro Pulse, but deals 720 water damage to enemies within a 15-meter radius and immobilizes them. So if enemies are attacking you, you're gonna get healed. But if you don't want to get attacked, you go ahead and use Water Bind to deal damage in an AoE and stop any opponents in their tracks. So the full power of these high deva transformation skills isn't really unlocked until level 75, but every time you level up, you'll have a choice of allocating a certain amount of points to either making your character's attributes stronger or making your deva transformation skills more powerful. Upon defeating the high devas in the labyrinth, they bestow upon you some serious power and what I imagine are a portion of your memories, so you can go on and protect the Tower of Eternity. And once you make your way back into the city and complete your initial quests, you will unlock a ton of group quests to go out and explore all the new areas of Estera. And I imagine if you decided to quest through Nosra, this quest line would be very similar over there as well. And just to give you guys a little bit of backstory on the history of these new zones, once upon a time a war broke out between the humans and the Balar. AION created devas, including the powerful high devas, and sent them along with the Empyrean lords to save mankind. but Lord Israfel lured the Balar into a trap under the false premise of peace negotiations. To allow them to enter, the protective etheric field surrounding the Tower of Eternity was deactivated. However, Lord Freegan saw through his evil plan, and in his rage, he destroyed Ion's tower and broke the Atreya into pieces. In the last second, the High Devas managed to reactivate the etheric field and stop the full destruction of the planet. However, once the glorious warriors were at the end of their strengths, it seemed like they were doomed. Luckily, Lady Seal managed to stop time within the etheric field, thereby managing to save the High Devas. Many years have passed since then. The etheric field is becoming ever weaker and has revealed the areas Nosra and Estera, who were thought to be long lost. So the Nosra and Estera lands are the ones that we get to explore in Ion Patch 5.0. A little bit more backstory on the new zones. Nosra is the sovereign territory of the Asmodeans. Estera belongs to Ilios. Both areas can be entered from level 65, and numerous quests and fear-inducing opponents await you there. These areas grant you access to the Tower of Eternity, which was destroyed during the Great Catastrophe. You also get access to 4 new instances that I'll show you a little bit more about later. Also, you'll notice while running around in the world, you can make use of your environment to give you buffs or gain access to new areas. So mostly while I'm running around here, just getting a lay of the land, you'll notice that as you go further out from the center of the map, the mobs become higher and higher level. So definitely watch yourself as you're leveling, because at the very ends of the map, the mobs go upwards of level 74. So those things will kill you pretty quickly if you get caught out, so be careful. And you'll notice we're mostly running around Estera. That's because my character is Ilios. We're running around as the Bard Cestibrus. Now, I probably would not have chosen to play the Bard, but Gameforge and Ion were nice enough to boost the character for me so that I could run around in these new zones and share them with you guys as well. So in Estera, there seems to be 4 main zones in the top, left, bottom, and right sides of the map, and each one of those main zones is obviously going to be filled with quests, but also features a bit of a stronghold for one of the enemies types that live there, so approach those areas with caution. And it was really fun because as I was running around, I did see quite a few other players leveling around and enjoying the awesome looking new zones. So these are a couple screenshots that you can actually find on their website as well, giving you perhaps a different idea of more of the zones from a different perspective. And of course, it also shows that even within each of the 2 new zones, there's a lot of diversity within the areas to explore. But I also mentioned that since my character is Ilios, I didn't really get a chance to see Nosra as much, but I do want to show you guys a little bit of what that looks like as well. As you can see, it's got a little bit, in my opinion, more of a dark idea to it, but also I do think the Asmodean race is a little bit darker in general, more being like the fallen angels to the Ilios, which is the normal kind of angelic light look to it. I also mentioned that there are new instances. The Adma Ruins feature an evil puppeteer that is wreaking havoc in the Adma Fortress and manipulating the locals. On top of that, the evil Princess Karimawin is also under his influence and now acts according to his will. So you gotta go in there and stop that. They've also got Arkhal's hidden space, in which the devoted Arkhal has looted a fragment of the Tower of Eternity and has entrenched himself in his hideout. So you're gonna have to defeat him to weaken Baritra's strength. In addition to those 2, there's once again huge thanks to Ion and Gameforge for sponsoring this video. A mysterious artifact that can grant eternal life has fallen into the wrong hands. Eliminate the Element Lord before he manages to abuse it for his diabolical plans. And last but not least, we have the Library of Knowledge. This mysterious place contains numerous sketches and drafts of the history of Atreya. You'll be on the hunt for your lost memories in the library, which could be useful on your journey to become High Deva. Now, one of the coolest things about this instance is that no visit is the same. There are always different paths to tread, and enemies aplenty when you tread through this labyrinth of bookshelves. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this Ion Patch 5.0 first look video, where we took a look at the new zones and instances that you'll be able to play in the new patch.